because we got the dopest sweaters out right now. When he duffed me, him split, slam open. So you know what they do to Muppet? They crush Muppet. So at breakfast time, the police unlocked his cell open, they ran in there, beat him down. How dare you pop? You pop? You know this is our house? And look who you popped on.
باب مفتوح للاجتهادات التقريب هذا حد العالم هذا طالب هذا راسخ والى اخره.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh to all the RipRight disciples, YouTubers, and viewers. Welcome back to a new video on RipRight HD. And y'all already know what time it is, man. Make sure if you don't have one, you go ahead and get your rip stick. Also, guys, check the links in the description because we got the dopest sweaters out right now. You know, what's your body type? I don't care if you're really an endomorph. You better get you one of these and put this in your mental that you want to become a riptomorph. You know, ectomorph is somebody who's naturally skinny. He can get gains, but it's hard for him. A mesomorph is an athletic build type of guy. He can build muscle. An endomorph is naturally fat, a little bit, you know, pear-shaped it. But not a riptomorph, you know, it's Team RipRight, huh? Eat anything you want, whenever you want. Do a couple of pull-ups, and you got a six-pack. Bing, bang, boom. So go ahead and get you what's your body type. We're actually going to be putting that font also on the back and putting our new Arabic logos on the front as well. So that's going to be on the website. So guys, let's get right into it. So you know I did some time. I did over 10 years in prison. So now, I'm about 18 years old. I'm still on Rikers Island. I'm putting in major pain. So at this time, I had two top body shop, two upper. North side, and that was the first house I went to, and that was eventually the house that I took over with the help of my man UK. Okay, he was actually UK, y'all know, from Flatbush, United Kingdom. They used to rock, I think, the purple and the orange flags. I think Tip Top or one of those guys has started that set. So this particular dude was from that gang, and he had went upstate, and then I was having issues in the house, so eventually he came back down to Rikers Island, I think for family court or something, and then we ended up taking over the crib, and then I ended up having the crib with a Crip dude named SP from the Queens. Now he was a bot, he was in the way. I was supposed to know that already because he was living in protective custody downstairs. However, protective custody in the adolescents on Rikers Island at the time was live. You had to be like that also to be in protective custody as well, but I don't think he was rocking down there, and Allahu A'lam wa A'la. So check this out. So at this time of having the crib, this dude named Manhattan comes to my crib. They was calling him Manhattan. I didn't know who he was. Obviously, he was on Rikers Island before my time, and he was putting in pain or whatever. He was known. He was in one lane, and he kind of had his weight up. And like I told you, when you have your weight up, that means that, you know, you rocking. You basically could do almost anything you want to do in the house. People know who you is in the building, etc. He was in one main house of pain. He did what he did, went home, I don't know, on bail, whatever. He's back. When I see him, he has on regular clothes, you know, like all of us on the island, but then he has on orange patakis. Orange patakis means you either came in with boots, you came in with some kind of sneakers that was prohibited on Rikers Island, whether it was red, yellow, specific colors that they took from you. So sometimes if they take your sneakers, meaning the police officers, and give you the patakis, were the orange kung fu slippers. So he had those on. So he came into the house. I didn't know who he was. He was sitting on the iron horse. Like we say, guys, the iron horse is a metal bench. It's about 2 to 3 of them in each house. Depending. In one main, on one side, they didn't have no iron horses. That way, everybody was able to sit in a chair. So now, you're not able to sit in a chair if you didn't put in work. So we had these plastic chairs. So everybody who usually sat on the iron horse was called a day room dummy, meaning somebody who didn't rock. They didn't have their weight up. They didn't put in enough work yet. So he was sitting on the iron horse. I glanced at him. I took a look. I didn't really study who he was. I didn't know. So boom. A day later, he's no longer in the house. I don't know because people are in and out of the house. Yes, it's my house, but I'm not even paying too much attention. So whatever the case may be, he put word out to the bros that he was with in one main to tell the police officers in one main that he was back. So obviously the police officers run the jail. So they're going to get him, pulled to their housing unit because, especially in 1 Main, it was considered a police house. Even though the inmates were putting in work, that house wasn't ran by the inmates. That house was ran by police. Bottom line, Two Top Body Shop was ran by inmates. The prisoners, whatever you want to call them, convicts, it was ran by them. The police didn't tell us what to do when it came to running that house. But in 1 Main, the police were kind of what we can say intertwined with the inmates. So the inmates were running it, but they only did what the police allowed them to do. If that kind of makes sense. It's kind of hard to break down, but I'll explain. So I don't know what Manhattan beef is with me. He just don't like me. I don't know. Maybe he came to my house. He was sitting on an iron horse. I don't know. I don't even know you. I never talked to you. I never spoke to you. I didn't even know who you was. And if you was somebody, like, all you had to do, bro, is say, yo, what's good? I was rocking in 1 Main, and that would have been it. When a person that owns a house on Rikers Island usually comes to another house, it's almost like you pull out the red carpet for that person. For the most part, that's how it used to be, unless y'all got beef in some sorts. You understand what I'm saying? But usually the dudes that run each house are kind of like, yeah, we cool. Oh, Rocky? Oh, yeah, we cool. Oh, Jazzo? Oh, yeah, we cool. Oh, Big Blood up there? Yeah, we cool. If I come up there, we good. So I'm going to the school floor one day. As usual, I stop in 1 Main classroom. Because what happens in 1 Main classroom is my bro is in there Muppet, like I told you. He's chilling in there. He used to be Crip, Cool Blue Riders. But at the time that set that got smashed. So he was no longer Crip. So he's in that housing unit. And in the adolescence, it don't matter if you Crip, Blood, Latin King, Nieta, Patia. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. If you rocked, you rocked. So I'm in the classroom with Birdie, you know what I mean? That's what we used to call him. He was a teacher. He mad funny. He had like a little accent. He used to crack jokes and all kind of stuff. We used to play chess with him. So when we play chess with him, obviously he's in the front of the classroom and everybody's in the back of the classroom. So I'm at the table with him playing chess. I'm at his desk. I got my chair pulled up. Boom, we playing chess. And you know, Jazzo, Manhattan, at the time, I don't know who this cat is yet. I still don't know who he is. I find out after the whole ordeal. So I'm just minding my business. Muppet also in the back of the classroom. I came in and said what up to everybody. Whole time, unbeknownst to me, you know, Manhattan had me lined up, you know, and he sent a missile at me. So now, I guess Muppet kind of felt it and knew what was going on. And I don't know how I didn't feel it because I'm usually aware, but I was just so comfortable. So, I'm in there after playing a little bit of chess. I just black out. Him got dusted in that classroom. Son, boy put the bling blow on me. You hear me? So I don't know. He come from, I forgot which side. Let me look in this mirror. So obviously he comes from this side. You probably can't see it no more. But I had a major scar under this eye because when he duffed me, him split, slam open. But him hit me so hard that I never recovered. So it was no fighting back. And remember, at this time, I'm about 141 pounds. No, I'm 141 pounds now. I was about 120 something pounds, soaking wet, skinny as a twig. However, when it comes time to putting in work or standing tall, I was doing it. So it didn't matter how big you were, no freaky, or how small, pause. As long as you had heart and you was willing to go to the 12 rounds, eventually they was gonna respect your name. You wasn't washing nobody clothes, you wasn't giving nobody commissary. So when this dude hit me, I don't know how many times he hit me, but I know I blanked out. I don't know if I ended up on the floor. I don't know what happened after that. I can't tell you. If I did, I'll be lying. So it was a couple times him got hit so hard. Him was in, him was doing the 1-2 Costa Zoo. So when it's all said and done and I come to, now, I think I was kind of like going out the classroom. I can't remember. I don't know if I fell. It wasn't like I was knocked out, but I was such in a daze for a certain period of time. So I didn't know if I was getting jumped or what. But however, Mr. B and Mac, which is two police officers that ran one main. Because like I said, the prisoners didn't run one main. It was the police. They saved the dude. No lie. And not only that, Muppet also popped with me. Or for me, because him was done. So when I get hit, Muppet see the whole play. Muppet pop on son. And I guess that's how Muppet get him up off of me. However, nobody else in the house did nothing. So Manhattan sent one person at me, which was a day room dummy trying to get his weight up. For what reason? I still have no idea. I don't know, and I still don't know till this day. Did nothing to the man. Don't know who he is. Do not know who this man is. So Mac and B grabbed me. They pulled me right into the bathroom next door to the classroom. They grabs him. They got him in the bathroom right next to me. But him still, like I told you, him dazed out. So Mac and B, them, you know what I mean? B, Mac is like a lot taller. I believe, and B is shorter, but you could tell B works out. You could just tell arm swole, Mac is big. So they like, yo, and they used to jack me. You know, every time I used to see them, yo, what's up? It was just like, you know, a common, you know, hey, what's going on? And they see in my face, I'm on the island for 38 months. So they like, yo, why you did this? He like, yo, I ain't. Punched him in the face. Yo, and every time he tried to answer the question, you know what I'm saying? They was just duffing him. Like, literally punching son all in the face. Who? The police. This is how much they had that crib on lock. Like, they didn't play that. And they were so upset because that missile was sent and they had no idea about it. You follow me? So now they were super upset. Who told you to pop? How dare you pop? You pop? You know this is our house? And look who you popped on. And they just duffing him for me. And also possibly for the fact that something happened during their shift and in their house that, you know, they didn't sanction. So I'm split open. Shiner, him eye black, him back to the housing unit. The bros in the house like, yo, what's good? I'm like, yo, I don't even know. Some day room dummy popped on me, but obviously he from Jazzo's side. And I'm like, me and Jazzo is here. So I finds out later, it's a dude named Manhattan. Him don't like you. Him sent the missile. So I'm like, if him sent the missile, then obviously if it's Jazzo house and Jazzo has something to do with it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's, yo, listen, I was pissed behind that because me and Jazzo was cool. And then not to mention, when they went back to the house, Muppet is stuck in the house. So you know what they do to Muppet? They crush Muppet. They crush his Muppet. So now I'm super tight. So now days later, my mans come to that crib, Fang. And Fang just recently died. If y'all from Glenwood, if y'all from Flatbush, this area, I know who Fang is. He did some time. Fang came to that house, one main. And they was oppressing him. And I got to see him. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm going to try to pull you to my crib. You got to get up out of there. So I guess they, you know, was asking him if he was with it. He was telling me the story. He was like, nah. So at breakfast time, the police unlocked his cell from the, you know, the joint. And his cell open. They ran in there, beat him down. So, boom. He ain't tripped. He ends up coming out one day and dusting Manhattan. He don't know at this time that me and Manhattan is not seeing eye to eye. I really don't know who Manhattan is still. But Manhattan was one of the masterminds behind his situation, him getting dusted. So he said, yo, I got to get out of this house. They popped the doors. He found a good time. He dusts Manhattan. Now, usually at that point, if certain officers is on, that's naturally there, Mama G, Mac and B, certain officers, all they would have did was like, oh, you dust him? Go to your cell. Then they let the team run in your cell, beat you down all crazy. Him dusting Manhattan on a time where it wasn't the regulars there. So they grip Fang up, and guess what house he comes to? Comes to right to him house and tells me everything that happened. And I'm like, yes, Sirski. Him didn't even have to do nothing. Just the way, you know what I'm saying? The way everything went down. You know, you sent the missile for no reason. You don't know me. And then right after that, my man from the street that don't even know you sent the missile towards me dusted you because you was in there doing foul stuff. So one thing, when you're in prison, guys, you can't just be waving your sword just because you're the only one with a sword. Oppressing people. Doing things like that because it's going to come back. So this is what happened a little bit after that. Now Fang is in my house. So him is good money. You can't tell Fang nothing. Why? Because him in my house. So we on the school floor, and guess what? Classroom we always have to pass before we get to our classroom. One main classroom, but I'm no longer going in that classroom because of the situation. We was all thinking about trying to run in there and fight the whole house. Him would have started a riot over some foolery. So after Manhattan got dusted, they punched boy all in the face. I allowed it. I'm not going to hold you. I took it. I said, all right, the police beat on him. You know, alhamdulillah. My man beat on Manhattan. Alhamdulillah. You know what I'm saying? If somebody snuff you, you can't kill him. You can't shoot him. You can't stab him. That's just how we play, you know, in Islam. And even at that time, I kind of felt like that. I wasn't like, I didn't hold grudges like that too crazy. You know, it depends on the situation and the circumstance. So as we walking past the classroom, I'm in the front. Fang is behind me. The whole line, 2 Top Body Shop. Jazzo on the back door. Like, yo, Cash, son right here, clip him. And I'm like, clip him? Niznagi. That's my man from the town. You telling me clip him, and the whole time you with Manhattan and you watch him send a missile at me, you had to have something to do with that. You had to. So guys, that was one of the times I got dusted. I got dusted, I can't even count how many times. Cell fights in a small cell at 120 pounds fighting dudes 190. So you know what happened? Bismillah. So don't go to jail. That's the moral of the story. And if you're in jail and you got your weight up, don't abuse it. Don't oppress people. Stay in your lane, because what goes around comes around. And that's just the law. How Allah Ta'ala works, His sunnah. He allows certain things to happen. Ain't nothing mysterious about it. So, yeah, it's more jail stories to come. We're going to kind of like get to the streets and some different type of serious situations dealing with guns and shootings and more stabbings. And I'm going to just explain to you why you should avoid those situations, how you should avoid those situations, and what you should be doing. All this drill, rap, and guns, that's cool. Alhamdulillah. If you listen to music, you listen to music. But if you're going to let it edit your life, then that's where you messed up at. Do not let these movies or these drill raps edit your life, because a lot of these drill rappers, you know, they destined for doom, you know, whether it's prison or the graveyard. And back in the days when we were living and coming up, most of the rappers used to just rap about it. They wasn't about it. Now these new rappers, they actually killing you, brother. And then they rapping about it and telling. It's weird times, guys. So listen, stay out of jail, stay focused, become an entrepreneur if you have to. If you got a free time, become an entrepreneur. If you don't have no free time, stick to your 9 to 5, get to the bag. Stay tuned, stay ripped, 6-pack, big back, all facts.
Indeed, in the body, literal translation, is a lump of flesh, a piece of meat. إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ. And when that lump of flesh